By the way, Norwood Sex Clothing, Bare Bones Broadcasting is a communicator. In communicating, sometimes the comparisons become graphic enough to grab the attention. The Marines do that with volume. I do it with term. I take volume and sound of your larynx and take the terms and use the same effect on them in your mind. Somewhat graphic, and yet it does get you to the point of the position I want you to witness life from. Move to where I push you with this terminology. Get in the position in your mind where I'm shoving you from the rear of the ship. I'm the last line, the most insignificant, the most typical, and the stupidest among you. Now move where I tell you to go. Get! Because the A and B students are failing you, and I'm a DNFer. I've come to save the day. My name is Mighty Mouse. I've come to save the day! Now you can see my cloak blazing in the wind, and I'm ready for action with both fists bared. And they're relaxed, because when I throw a punch, it goes, whap! And you can't do it with tight fists. Don't tighten up your fist, leave them loose. And just before you hit your target, make a fist and crunch it and punch about this far deeper in that target than you see with your eyes normally. See about this, so when you punch your opponent, you punch about this far deeper into him. Wham! It works. I had a great instructor help me with that one. I don't think the heavyweights today do that. I'm sure Mr. Ali did. That's how a bee stings you. Makes sense to me. Monkey see, monkey do. I am the king of the Jew. Oh, I've come to help you. Get in the position to see you are priceless and adorable. And there's some right now milking the misunderstanding of that. Oh, the court-appointed attorneys milk the misunderstanding of humanity and tell all those they're defending that they're guilty long before they ever hit court. You are in contempt of court. To tell your client that it's guilty before it goes to court, that's contempt of court. When you're a defense attorney, and you sign them off in these plea bargains, convincing them they're guilty as a defense attorney, you are in contempt of court. That's not the purpose of the court. To hold any case, Bunky, you know it, we're trying to test the law here. And the morons passing them. Got it? That's what court does. It's like the gesture to hypocrisy in humanity. It's for humor. Bernstein, remember? And he said the fines in the court were to keep the court open. He said taking advantage of people like my daughter were the reason to do that. He had to take advantage of people like my daughter to keep the court open, is what he told me. We have to take advantage of people like your daughter, he said, to keep the court open. That's what Jim Bernstein told me. He's a jackass. And he's willing to take advantage of people like my daughter and told me straight to my face to keep him employed. And he told me that. Well, Jim Bernstein, you are a jackass for telling me that. In court. That was pretty stupid of you. Wasn't it, Bernstein? And you have mocked me so many times, Jim Bernstein, it is astounding. And Norman Woodstock Spaulding will compare his mother's vagina, Jim Bernstein's mother's vagina, his daughter's integrity to his daughter's integrity, and this integrity to your integrity any day of the week, Jim Bernstein. I'd be goddamn glad I'm not big enough to grab you by the throat. It would be too much for me to stop. I'm sure. My anatomy is small for that very reason. Otherwise, the first time I met him and he told me my daughter was guilty as a defense attorney, he probably wouldn't have walked away from that situation at all. And I'd be in prison right now. Thankful, and I tell the officer, do your duty. I killed that bastard. If you dare him to do that to my daughter, do your duty, officer. I'm sorry I have to. I know. I like you, officer. It's got nothing to do with you. What? The judge just pushed you out of jail. Out of prison? I'm in here for life. I know. The judge threw it all out of court. You know what? I got to go back to work? Yeah, I'm sure you do. Damn. Funny how life lives along. Isn't it interesting when irony comes to town and hypocrisy gets nailed? And the only thing that excuses you, and it doesn't, it just puts you to work harder, is your confession to hypocrisy. And humbling yourself to irony and saying, you know what? I'm sorry. And sometimes you are, sometimes you are not. Put back to work. And that's all that has to happen. Everybody has to go to work in honesty and generosity. And there's no point in isolating anyone away from that at all. And running in a race for cancer certainly doesn't do that, does it? It just practices more hypocrisy and invites irony to come and slaughter. Running in races for cancer is hypocrisy. No product. Just a bunch of patting on the back of hypocrites in their own little circles of bunk. Wiping it off the currency of the humans that have to live yet. This is the currency for those who have to come here and after you're dead and gone don't give a damn. Punky. Hi, Punky.